Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 in losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Welcome back, Journeymen Lounge podcast. Did I just steal your thunder right there? Were you trying to chirp a little bit? Ryan? No?
No, there was that thing that came up for Pogs, and I was very excited
I was looking the
about
same
it.
thing.
Pogs. Oh, man.
Pogs
very
when I was
90s.
a kid, I loved
very
the Pogs.
90s, yeah.
Sorry.
Good old slammers.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That really it puts your age into perspective. If there's 1 9 and it starts 8 as the other one, I guarantee you guys know Pogs.
There's just people are wondering. There's like a thing in the TV in the background. It's like a 90s, I don't know, items
Nostalgic
or something.
stuff.
They just had Zima. Now it's Pogs. And I was just
90s.
I was captivated by it for a second.
Dude,
Brought me
Pogs
back
are
to when I was
great.
like 5. Anyway, continue, Bobby.
No,
Sorry
yeah,
about that.
welcome back. This is part B of episode 124. We're going over a civil action. I'll be hosting this. We'll go through the synopsis of the movie. I'll talk a little bit about some of the main cast and characters, and then I have some fun facts, some budget, ticket sales, and all that jazz. Then we're going to open it up. So that's kind of the game plan for part B, part 2 of episode 124. I hope you guys are excited about this one because it's not like a standard Duvall pick. I don't think it'd be in the top 3 that most people would land on, but I think he does a fantastic job here. So, all right, here we go. Synopsis of the movie. Spoiler alert: it's been out for 30 years or just about
26, yeah.
Civil Action by Jonathan Harr. It's a novel. It's based on a true story about Jan Schlittman, who represented 8 Woburn, Massachusetts families suing 2 large corporations, W.R. Grace and Beatrice Foods, for contaminating local water with toxic chemicals that were used or that caused childhood leukemia. This complex legal battle highlights immense costs of fighting corporate negligence and the costly fallout a smaller firm would incur trying to go the distance with these guys that have deep pockets. As mentioned early in the film, only 1.5% of claims will ever reach the courtroom due to parties settling out of court. So it would have been advantageous for the smaller personal injury firm to take the money and run, as it were, because they had multiple options to do so throughout the discovery process. I think this film truly dives into the moral, ethical, and legal lines within our judicial system and kind of put, how far are you willing to go for a verdict? So that's my quick synopsis. I'm going to just mention...
Sorry, do you mention that it was the dumping of the waste is why the parents think that their kids are getting sick? And
I mentioned that, the toxic water,
town believes everybody's getting sick from these chemicals being dumped into and then they're trying to obviously prove.
Right. So, there's 8 dead children due to childhood leukemia, due to this toxic water from just...
Trying to prove it, right.
Yeah, and trying to prove it, I guess. So, real quick, we're going to dive into a lot of other cast and characters on this. I think we have a pretty... we can almost make it a quick topic. We have quite a cast of characters on this.
Fantastic.
Who is your,
Let's rattle off.
Let's rattle off at least. John Travolta is Jan Schlittman. You have William H. Macy as James Gordon, their finance guy. Robert Duvall is Jerome Thatcher. He's part of the legal team for one of the corporations, Beatrice. John Lithgow is the Judge Walter J. Skinner. James Gandolfini is Al Love. Tony Shalhoub, Kevin Conway. Sidney Pollack is Al Eustace, and the list goes on and on.
Zelchko, Ivanek,
Go ahead,
Bill Cowley,
Kathleen Quinlan, Ann Anderson.
Stephen Fry is Pinder, Dan Hedaya, my dude
Kathy
there.
Bates, bankruptcy judge.
Sidney Pollack is actually a very well-known director and a bunch of stuff there. Daniel Von Begg and...
I was saying, when we get to the...
we'll get to that, guys.
When we get to that guy, just clear out. I got
I got you. Clear out.
He's a German.
You also have Kathy Bates as an uncredited role.
Yep.
You have Matt, Rob.
Wait, hers
Magdalene
was
and stuff
uncredited?
like that. Yeah, there's a long list of uncredited cast in this, but like I said, the cast is chock full. Definitely, we'll get there with some.
Yeah,
more.
they got Rob McElhenney, who's one of the teenagers for all of a 2-second pause.
All right, so moving on from cast, at least for now, let's...
Yeah, let me run through this budget and ticket
Sure,
sales, and then some quick fun facts as I was researching and getting ready for this movie. So this was a $75 million budget. I'm sure that was Travolta, like a good chunk of it, with box office sales of only $56 million. It did $7 million domestically and is a product of Touchstone Pictures. Release date was January 8th, 1999. Directed by Taylor Hackford.
Was it 99 or 98?
It was actually released in 99, but they credited it as a 98 film. So maybe there was a limited release prior to January 8th.
Okay.
Says Christmas of 98. I got, but
right. The runtime is 2 hours and 5 minutes, and it's actually filmed a lot of different cut shots, and some of the scenes were filmed locally. So Northbridge, the Riverdale Mall, Palmer was the steaming tender restaurant.
By local, he means Boston.
Yeah, Boston. So, yeah,
New
Framingham
England
Pond and
area.
Quincy, Waltham, that hospital, Jamaica Plain, Beacon Hills, and Fenway Park is even, identified in this. Some of the fun facts, let me rattle off at least one or two, and then we'll get into this. So, this is based on a true court case that occurred in the 80s. EPA did intervene and enforce the cleanup of the polluted site, and then the civil penalties were issued for these crimes, and that ended up being, $69 million.
Still the largest to this day in the Northeast.
So my kind of interpretation of like how they loosely base this off is what I think happens a lot of times is that they changed the names of the companies. They changed, obviously, some of the details of exactly how it happened. Now, one part that it did say, it said in the movie, and then I read it elsewhere, is that Jan Schlitman did end up sinking a lot of money into this. Now, they're saying in the movie they're portraying him as living in a single one-bedroom apartment. And,
Right.
Basically being broke, doing like personal injury lawyering at the lowest level. Mm-hmm. I'm not so sure that he got down to that level. The excess of what they spend to prove this
was over $3 million.
Well, they said that their costs were $8 million to be whole, which I'm sure obviously calculated in payments to the families, payments for their own stuff. I'm just saying those, like, I feel like they inflated it in the movie. Maybe they did spend millions of dollars and they weren't like, hey, we're now a huge company.
I know personally Jan did 1.3.
I could easily see that they definitely went all out. They sold out on this for this, and it didn't obviously come back.
Well, I did look it up. They actually did give up their houses, all of their 401ks, so that was true. So they put all 4 of their houses on the line.
I could see that.
So they said the companies were the companies that they mentioned, Beatrice Foods and WB.
Yeah, those are
Grace.
actually the defendants.
Yeah. And that Jan guy was real, obviously. But the thing that was different, there was John Travolta's way older than the guy was at the time. He was 30,
he was
31. Travolta's 44, 45 in this, so he's a little...
He plays it young, though, or young enough.
And he had hair still, so...
So I'll say this, some more fun facts. This film is considered very accurate, and the real Jerome Focher, who was really pleased with Robert Duvall's portrayal of him.
I read that.
And then the real Jan is still continuing to practice law, environmental law, and he's, still out there. You could, I'm sure he's probably retiring soon, but yeah.
In 2010, he was representing 60 people from a small town in New York that was going through a very similar thing that this movie is loosely based off of.
And Will Smith was considered for the role of Jan, and Marlon Brando turned down the role for Jerome.
Wait, why would Will Smith play Jan if he's not black?
Well, based off a true story means they can literally say
they would
that
have changed his name, I assume.
Do whatever they want. I'm just saying, dude.
Why was
really
Little
change
Mermaid
it.
black? Why was Snow White black?
Yeah, we don't need to go down that
Sorry.
path.
No,
All I'm saying, dude, is that they
Cut that out.
They can cast whoever they want. When
Yeah,
they say
that's fair.
based on a true story,
Well, I'm saying, but if you're using the real person's name,
I'm
and you
sure
cast
that-
a person
yeah,
of a
they might-
different race, that's a little strange.
they might have to change the name of the character. But again, it's like you say based on a true story, not everything in the movie.
This was a very accurate representation of the discovery. Like, a lot of lawyers who've seen this movie are like, yeah, I mean,
Sure, but you can be accurate of the how a lawyer a lawyer would act
A lawyer
in that.
lawyers.
Yeah, it could be accurate in that. I have a hard time believing that any of besides Jan Schlitman and I read that I thought it was 2 different companies that they were Maybe it was the other like later
It
cases
was
or whatever.
a subsidiary than the parent company.
I'm just saying I don't believe that it was like those names for sure. I also, again, I have to believe that they're also bullshitting about Jan in the one scene going $25 million for us, $25 million for
Right.
you know
And then
protections,
$1.5 million for 30 years.
for in perpetuity. Like I doubt that he came in with a $325 million proposal. Like those are the things that I think they exaggerate for like the movie effect.
And just to mention, again, this case was in the 80s, so $325 million back then was just like $1 billion in today's dollars.
And the reality is, in this movie, he didn't consult with his other partners on his approach or strategy, so they were all just sitting dead in the water because he's already kind of opened his mouth and made the request to or the other counsel, like, this is what is, that's our expectation now. It's like, you dug us way too big of a hole. They're not going to not even entertain that. And they were close to entertaining like $20 million. They're like, you know, if it puts it to bed and, you know, the end of it.
Yeah, I would say let's probably go through scenes
so-
then next.
Yeah, so favorite scenes, because I can't imagine you guys had any personal experience with this movie. I can't imagine
Never
you guys
seen
saw
it.
this
No,
movie.
I think
I've
this is
never
a
seen
one that all three of us have never seen it. I
So
think
I was going to just skip right past.
We all just decided because of Robert Duvall, and then we looked at I looked at the cast, and I was like, damn, Gambino, William H. Macy,
Crazy.
so and
also
so.
Kathleen Quinlan is in this.
Yeah,
She's very good.
and it's a courtroom movie, which I enjoy.
drama.
So that's why we were like, let's go for it.
No, I think this is a choice that's like it's a good choice to be like, all right, let's try this. Let's see how it goes. It's a little, you know, you threw out Maltese Falcon before,
Yes,
and
I
it's
did.
kind of like, hey, dip your toes in this, and they're like, okay, it's a little bit more of a. This is a nice, smooth like transition
This is a
into.
better transition. Yeah.
I mean, again, I think everybody's here pretty much a fan of Travolta in some capacity,
hell yeah.
Duvall in some capacity, William H. Macy in some capacity, Tony Shalhoub,
James Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini. The list goes on. So
The only
I think
Travolta movie
again
that
it was
sucked was Battlestar Galactica.
No, you're thinking of Battlefield Earth.
Battlefield
That's what I mean.
Yes,
Yeah,
was
that movie was
dog.
horrible.
Sorry, love you, but yeah.
it's all good. So like I said, that's all that I'll say about the experience of it. Is like when you suggested it, and then again I looked a little bit into it. I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. Let's give it the old college try here.
I always like giving horror movies a chance. You know, it's just
Absolutely.
it's a cool setting for a movie. Like it's, you know, you don't want to be there like for real jury duty, but I like seeing the movies, you know, and seeing from that, you know, obviously like. But yeah, it's cool always watching movies like this.
Sure.
All right, so we're going to knock it around to favorite scenes. I'm going to just do one quick one that I enjoy was it was Robert Duvall's character as Jerome. He's he like falls asleep literally like on the bench, and then he pops up and, you know, objection, you know, and I think it was part of like his class, you know, as he's teaching, he's like,
Correct.
guys, no matter what you're doing, object, you know, create any type of riffraff that hurts his disrupts his flow. So a lot of the stuff that he's saying out there, like never ask questions why. All of this is actually really sound legal advice for anyone practicing in the court. So unreal.
Yeah, you definitely went to like the back half of the movie where it shows Duvall as a professor.
Yeah, I went deeper on
as
this
well
one, so
as
you guys
I-
could kind of
I'll
bring it up
kind
to
of
it.
bring it back to the beginning, just in
Even
general.
the intro scenes.
Travolta's got a great voice. You start with a Travolta doing
Narrating.
a voiceover, narrating. I think that's a solid. I mean, you could also. There's a lot of guys in this that you could have had. Like I just mentioned them, Duvall,
Macy narrating, yeah.
You know, it definitely could have been anybody in that cast, but solid start. I very much enjoy obviously again courtroom drama, but like there's a lot of like professional settings. So you have like Travolta behind a desk, looks good behind a desk. I like that where he's kind of holding court with the remaining partners. He's also the scene where he's meeting with the families for the first time.
Right.
And he's basically reluctant to like take this case because he's a personal injury lawyer, and this is obviously a big endeavor to prove
Big expense too. Yeah.
prove that this toxic waste is causing these things. But it's like him and 4 sets of parents kind of around here. I just like how the director Steve Zalian, right, I believe is the
Yeah, this was a screenplay. It was written and directed by Steven Zalian.
who also did Schindler's List.
Is that right? Okay.
And then also
Not directed it.
he was a writer on it,
Yeah.
right? And then
Okay.
I would say Steve Zalian has better credits writing than directing.
Spielberg directed Schindler's List.
Right? No, but I'm sorry, but
Just
the
ratification.
writing of
For all of our
searching
listeners.
for Bobby Fischer was a huge movie
Oh, yeah, I
back
like
in the
that
day.
movie.
The Irishman,
Irishman, excellent. Okay.
3.5 hour movie.
Moneyball, American Gangster, Gangs of New York. So
To
he's
be
got-
on those productions,
he's got
holy
writing
shit,
credits
yeah.
on a lot of big flicks there. And I also just want to mention, we'll get to the soundtrack though, but Danny Elfman was the composer for music or music supervisor there.
Danny Elfman, I had to. Okay.
So I'm just saying though, like the professional scenes in this, I think are really done well, where it shows kind of like Travolta again. I don't know why. It's just one of those actors. You're like, the guy he's expected to be in a suit in that 90s period. Like I'm thinking of like Face Off and like
I'm thinking of Punisher when he was you know what I'm talking about, the bad guy on that with what's the actor, the original Punisher actor,
Thomas Jane.
Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, well, this definitely was in the Travolta sans, if you will.
Yeah.
Post Pulp Fiction, got a big boom again. You know, he's in his second prime, if you will.
Yeah.
I like like you said, the opening scene. I like the thing with the 3 Post-its and the opposing counsel, 1.2 million,
You know,
1.5,
please,
and 2 million, please.
because
All right, we've reached a settlement. Like, do you guys get the impression, like in the beginning of this movie, that is Travolta kind of like a, I'll say shady, but a little shady, like kind of like a Better Call Saul type of lawyer? Do you think like
that's what Saul was? He was a person.
that's what I'm saying? Like, but like he's like, you know, he has no problem bending the rules, or
I think he's out for money.
it seems like they
in-
kind of are going for
in
that to begin
general,
with.
But I think that also it's not like such a hard, like we just did Devil's Advocate, where
Yeah,
you can
another
see
lawyer
like a
one.
clear, like Keanu is in like a, I don't care if you're guilty or whatever. I think Travolta is more of like, I'm going to go after the whale. Like that's the whole opening exposition
Yeah.
is that like, this is what is the most valuable that I can prove and get money out of. I think that's his mentality. He's like more of a shark of like,
Yeah.
where can I get the money, least effort type of deal.
I will say too, it seems like he's better at pre-trial stuff than going to trial. Like he's good at getting them to settle beforehand, like making.
That's a hell of a lawyer. You make
You know
sure
what I
the other
mean?
party
Like, yeah, like
settles,
making them like he kind of fucked up in that regard throughout this
Right.
in this movie when he went to trial. They even mentioned it. William H. Macy, you said we would never go to trial. We're never gonna go to trial. And, you know, that was like the one time we actually see him in the court.
Right, and they had opportunities of getting themselves cleared for all their costs, all their
Oh,
expense,
yeah.
and other type of settlements before he got too heavy. I mean, he played a heavy hand.
Talk about
I like when he's before and after when he meets the families. Excuse me. He gets pulled over by the same cop at the same spot.
He gets another
and that's why
ticket.
he winds up actually walking down to the contamination area, the waste dumping
Mm-hmm.
ground where the factories are, and he's like, oh, maybe there is something
He takes
here.
a look, yeah.
And again, to me, it seems like he's like his character arc where in the beginning he doesn't really care as much about the families, where he's just doing it. He sees money and like dollar signs, like we can.
I think he sees
could
liability. I don't
grab-
think he saw dollars.
Well, I'm saying like he's not doing it unless there's going to be a payoff. Whereas I think later in the movie they try and make it, you know, express that now he's at a change of heart where he actually cares about the people more.
finding
Like
justice rather than
there's that
trying to
scene where
quick hit.
he imagines the father on the highway. He said his son died on the way to the
Yeah, and he's
hospital
trying
on
to
the
perform
bridge, and he kind
CPR.
of sees that. And then from then on, it kind of seems like we talked about the other meeting where he's like, I want 25 million here, 25 million there, and $1.5 million for every person
30 years,
for 30
yeah.
years. And that's when you're like, oh, like, you know, old Travolta probably would have, you know, early in the movie probably would have taken 25 or 50 and like that'd been fine. But this Travolta now is like out for blood kind of. Or,
Yeah,
I think
he
he
dug
grew-
himself in too much.
I think he grows a conscience,
Yeah.
like kind of part way through, where like he's getting, and obviously it's a drama, so they're like pulling at the heartstrings for him to kind of see like, okay, I think we got some ground here. It's a huge corporation; they could pay for it. We could set the families up. But yeah, you guys obviously nailed it. Too big for his britches, and you know,
You know
could
what?
have taken.
I have a different theory, and I'm gonna get into it right now. Is the fact is because he was so financially sunk into this, did it force him to change a perspective that he previously had? So for him, it was like, I want to get paid dollars and cents, and then the fact that he was like at some point becomes too invested in it rather than being pulled away. He becomes more like conscientious of like doing the right thing instead of just get the right thing. You know.
Well, I think they showed that he he wanted more no matter what. Like William H. Macy was the one who's doing all the
Financial.
getting loans and selling the house
They're all
and
on
mortgages
float, yeah.
and firing people and laying off people and pawning everything from the office. Like he's the one who's really feeling it. He's the one who says he offered you $8 million. What the hell? Take the $8 million. What are you doing?
Right.
So if he would offer you 10, which we're
It
gonna
wouldn't be
the
enough,
scene
yeah.
is coming up
Yeah,
will do.
Yep.
But we would have. You're gonna take that, but not 8. Like what the hell? Like
So AJ, do you have any scenes that pop out to you in the?
Yeah, my
first-
favorite scene is after they did the courtroom the first time. It's Travolta and Duvall out in basically the area, like the seating area, like
Sitting
outside
area
the
behind,
outside
behind
the courtroom.
Yeah.
And Duvall is just like, he has his like Hostess donuts,
His little
banana,
radio.
and raisins. He's listening to the radio, and Travolta's sitting next to him. Duvall takes out a 20. He's like, "Hey, I'll add 6 more zeros to this, and it'll be $20 million. We could stop this case right now." And to kind of allude to what Ryan was saying, he was too big for his britches and like didn't even take the $20 million right there.
Take the money, dopey.
don't be stupid.
Go ahead.
I like the first Duvall scene. I was gonna say, like going back a
The
little
kid?
bit.
Sorry.
Yeah, he brings him.
Sorry, before you get there, I just want to mention real quick on that scene. I was thinking of a number in my head because they were going back with all the numbers. I'm like, 20 mil, man. 20 mil, you get out, you get you get some money,
You guys
get
are
money
in
for
the black,
them.
yeah.
And then they came to that scene and he was like, $20 bill, 6 zeros. I was like, I fucking called it. Sorry. Just want to make sure. I want everybody to know I called that. I was like,
Called
that's
it,
20
God.
mil.
The,
right
the
there.
clerk gives him like the opening. What's it? I don't know what John. What's the
Opening
opening?
statement.
Like when he gives him the initial lawsuit or whatever. It's like, hey, the company's being served. I'm sorry to bother you. And Robert
yeah,
Duvall
yeah.
makes a big thing about, I'm on my lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get an hour away by myself, listen to the ball game. But he says it in like a hinting like, you should find a place where you can go, like doing
Right.
what he's doing. And that was really just good. And then he does it again at the end of the movie. Little nice bit for his character. He's a lawyer for this big company, but he's like kind of just a simple guy. Like I like listening to baseball, throwing my tennis ball against the wall. Like, I don't fuck around, but I know what I'm doing. Also, like I'm experienced.
Oh yeah.
It was a good setup, I think, for his character.
Do you think he's typecast, Robert Duvall?
No,
'Cause,
I disagree.
think about it. Godfather, lawyer. I think a lot of the other works that he's been in.
Well,
lawyer.
look at Armageddon. He was just like a father in that movie.
I'm just saying, did they typecast him a little bit?
I don't think so. I mean, he's played similar roles
think
multiple
he's-
times. He's been a cop a couple times. He's been
And
a
he's
lawyer.
been in westerns.
I think
which-
he's
But
old.
Then he does a movie like Kicking and Screaming, and that's not.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he's
Fair
just
enough.
older
I do
and-
like that movie too.
Yeah,
Same thing with Armageddon. He was not.
You're right. You're right.
yeah.
Maybe sorry. That's why we're talking about it. All right.
I like too. We could talk about
Keep going, scenes.
the James Gandolfini scenes, the deposition of him and his character, and he's like the only one who's being truthful and like saying what's actually happening with the waste, and and then they show him at his work, and everybody's like evil eyeing him, and like they want to like beat him up probably or kill him
yeah,
or
man,
whatever.
they're giving him the hard
and
stare.
Then, they talked to him in the alley. The lawyer's like, "Come on, man, why don't you?" He's like, "No, this is like what happened, and like my daughter has this, my
That's what I was
son
gonna
has
say.
this."
His family is being affected by this potential. I think he's one to like say like it's happening. I don't care. Like hopefully they'll clean it up for the neighborhood. He's like a real family
Yeah, he has 8
oriented
kids of his own, right?
like just family oriented for the entire. And then he also lives across the street from Kathleen Quinlan's character,
Right.
who then he said it in like the movies, like I have to see her every day. She picks up the mail, like the
Yeah.
paper. So I think he's like a guy who's like, I got to do this.
I owe it
for
to her. I owe
And
it
then
to
there's
my
that
family,
good
yeah.
scene too with him and his family, and the wife fills up the pitcher with water, and he's like staring at the water, like like I don't know, like we should be drinking this kind of, like looking at his family.
But I think for him, he's like damage has already been done.
No, but I'm saying like he does a good job acting. He doesn't even say
Yeah.
anything. It's all
No,
in his
exactly,
face,
his
and his
face.
eyes, and it's good seeing basically season 1 Tony Soprano.
A little bit,
not,
yeah.
not with minus the accent, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's like the same time when that was out, so that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
looking back at that.
I would go with as there's a couple quick ones like Jerry, Jerome, Robert Duvall's. Like I don't know why they like built it. This might be how they some quirks of the actual guy. But like they go to a hotel for a meeting, like kind of neutral ground, and he's like, eating stuff. He's like taking like a strawberry, a banana, whatever. Then he's like, hold on, I got a question. This pen.
Can
I have it?
Yeah.
Steals the pen. Like he's got the other quirks of like taping up his briefcase, and it's just like I like those little type of again. They could be nods to the
guy's
his choice
so
as a
good,
character,
though.
or it could be what the actual guy was just a little quirky.
I think he had the Pink Panther on his briefcase
He
too.
did.
It looked like
He did.
That shit was cool. I like the Dan Hedaya deposition scene too, where he's like being uncooperative and pours the water on the table, and they ask him a question. And he's like, "Well, you asked me how it works. That's how it works. We pour it down and slides
Excess
off."
falls,
And that's
yeah.
when Travolta's like, "Well, that's fine, but what happens to the one that's like on my floor? Where does that go?" He doesn't answer. And then awesome, I'm gonna mention it too for it's early for cinematic shots. The guy slides in the coaster and he catches it like a boss.
Yeah.
Like that was real cool. I don't know, I like that. But
Let's just hit up
That was a fun
cinematic
little-
shots here real quick.
Yep.
I would have that and the lake being lit on fire. Like,
Damn it, that was
fire
definitely one of
burn,
mine.
man.
That was crazy.
I just like kind of at the river, cold New England, kind of scenery there. And then this is a perfect shot of down the alley as Al Love is being represented by Cheeseman.
I had that too, cheese man.
Cheeseman. And they're talking, but like kind of like down an alley. And then I love it as like Gandolfini is like, all right, whatever, man. And then he walks off. It's a beautiful shot down the alley. And then
yeah, that is good.
I would
Kinda
also just say you were talking about they kind of trying to the prosecution is trying to use the heartstrings of a child dying, and they illustrate that story of them pulled over on the side of the road. They then show Travolta in his car raining, pulled over the side of the road, and then they kind of like show like a flashback or like I guess an imagining of that. I thought that was like pretty like holy shit, like kind of visceral, and the kids dying and the parents are crying and all this
Am
stuff.
I the only one who liked the bravado when he goes on that dude's land and there's like a bunch of machinery getting set up and he's like, what is going on here? Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm here and here's your, here's my papers allow me to be on your property.
Here's my court order.
Here's my court order. And dude, I was just like, man, that's a heavy flex because he's already got the machinery. He didn't like inform them, it was just like, all right, we're setting up shop, time's money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
And Robert Duvall really too in this movie. He basically calls everything that's going to happen. You think I would ever let these people testify?
That's one of my best quotes, yeah.
And then when they're in the
Yeah, I'm sorry. To piggyback off that, though, did you catch the look that he gives?
in the courtroom.
No. This is in the field.
Oh, okay.
The field, Travolta, like, been underestimating Jerome the entire time.
Yeah.
And then
It's like, I'll bet.
he's like, you really think I would, allow you to do that? And then you see Travolta kind of go like,
Yeah, I think the weight.
and he says,
like, he was so confident in it.
he's like, I don't see how you're going to stop it or whatever.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, later on, oh, Your Honor, we don't want to put them through more trauma because you haven't even proved that it's
you
come
have to
from the
prove A in order
wells.
to
right.
And then he gives him like this dumb, I don't know. And
I
Travolta's a character, this very wordy questionnaire that could be misleading. Maybe
It's trying to, before they go to trial, to see, like, is this something
where's the
that
blame stop?
could even be fathomable? Do you
Culpability,
believe that these
negligence.
these companies could be dumping them and this stuff could actually be infecting these kids? It's very wordy, as you said. I beg the question of, like, is it actually how a legal situation would unfold where a judge could just throw out a questionnaire to go like, do we need this?
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know the law. I don't know
you
if
could,
that's...
you could try
You have
it.
to show causality. You have to show the one thing that I love that there was like a 20-second scene. Robert Duvall was like, "Hey, do you use nonstick pans?" He's going through all these things because those are all cancer-causing, products that we use every day. So he has like a list of 10 different things that, guess what, they're household items. Now that's his defense. You could say definitively that these kids got leukemia because of our products. You can't do that, and he knows that, and that's why he was sitting back, basically like half asleep. He's like, I could easily disprove
Well, he even
this.
tells him in the courtroom, he's like, how do I think it go? Them, yes. Us, no. And that's going to be it. And exactly what they said. For them, W.E. Grace, yes. For Beatrice Foods, no.
Yeah.
I was like,
He knew that going into it, I guess, and that's what I love about Robert Duvall. That like, I wouldn't say it's it's not him being proud or like boastful, but more of like just so sure of himself, like confident in that sense. Like, guess what? I can be kind of a slack because I already know how this is a game of chess, and I've already seen 7 moves ahead.
AJ, any other scenes you got? No, Ryan.
I just like saying, I like seeing the overall throughout the movie, the gradual disintegration of the law firm. Like it starts at like this like a lot of people, phones going, and it's like a nice office, and they're making money, and then as it goes along, they need more money for the case, for this, for that, for these experts, for these things, and it's like these people are fired, the chairs are starting to get sold, there's no phones, there's no chairs or nothing. They have no house, they have no money. We'll do the scene, but eventually he's like, I have $37, and you want that?
We'll do that scene too.
I'll just add on to it. The financial advisor William H. Macy. Like
Gordon,
cutting costs, he fires the janitorial staff. He's like, we'll dump our own ashtrays. He goes and just starts applying to credit cards all over the place.
Balances left and right.
He's like, just apply to them all. They're in the North Bank of Iowa, all that shit. And then at one point he gets scratch offs. And he's like, come on.
Damn it.
And then the one scene that I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, it's obviously showing him unraveled. Or unraveling, he dumps all his coins to their like bank, like representative or whatever,
Uncle business banker,
and he's just like, "Here are my coins," and I was like, "Whoa, this guy is losing his goddamn mind." And then he throws the mortgages down, like, "Here you go."
Like, I know what you're thinking. I've been buying lottery tickets. You know what? I actually haven't bought.
I tell you the truth.
It's $45 million for 1 week.
Yeah. I am good on.
I would just mention the flash forward after the thing that they get the $8 million, everybody gets paid out, and the Kathleen Quinlan is very upset that like she's like, you said we get an apology and you think this is worth it, and
I love that quote. He's like, that's how they apologize.
And then the law firm disintegrates, and we see like Travolta, I don't know how many years later, on his own. He has literally an office that shares with the barber shop. It's in the 1-bedroom apartment, and then he goes to the restaurant, has the epiphany of seeing the ice spilled, and is like, oh, maybe I didn't ask the right question. He finds out that
look at the right evidence.
Mr. Kruger from Seinfeld took the waste before the inspection could take place, and they kind of buried it and didn't talk about it, and that kind of is like the smoking gun to reopen the thing. And he sends it to the EPA to take over because he has no resources or money to do it himself, but he feels that
he owes it.
Someone should do it, and they, that's when the $69 million is paid out, as you guys said.
Yeah, and they had to do environmental cleanup.
So I thought it was a nice little like kind of almost like a post credits, but it's like the screen goes to black, and then there's like 10, 15 more minutes of like the aftermath kind of or whatever. So.
All right, scenes are good. Let's go to.
We can go best quotes.
Oh yeah, let's do quotes.
Let's do a quick scene then.
No, let's just do quotes because I already burned one of my 4.
All right, let's hear your other ones.
I don't run away from bullies. I don't know, just like,
I like
a little bit. Mr. Cheeseman, Cheeseman, is that your name?
I had Cheeseman in my notes when I wrote it down.
At some point, somebody's just like, "What the fuck is this?" Love that line. And then I like. I don't think we're doing a table read on it, but it's Jan Schlitman, John Travolta, is meeting with the CEO of what's the one that they're still going after? Grace?
WB Grace.
WB Grace. And
Sidney Pollack.
We actually have that scene, but
are we?
We're not doing it.
Okay.
Schedule it, but
I just want to mention though that like he sets it up as like, hey, we're doing a business meeting. They go to like the Harvard Law
Lounge
club or whatever
library almost,
and he's like, "What do you want?" And right away, Jan Schlitman pulls out the thing. He's like, "Oh,
we don't do business.
You don't do business at the Harvard." And then now he's retelling it to the partners in the hotel room, where he's like, so annoyed. He's like, "So then we talked about 2 hours about his boat," and like I like they then transpose back to him going like, "Oh, so you sail?" He's like, "No, I don't sail." I was like, "You don't sail?" Oh, okay.
Cornell.
And he's like, "I wanted to reach across the table, and I wanted to strangle him with his tie." Yeah, just sorry.
That would go great. That was.
It's just a lovely little thing, and then they kind of talk about business up in the.
Yeah.
It's like
once they get back to the office,
like, why don't you put your feet on it? It's like I don't want to.
That thing looks like it was about to crumble. Yeah. I agree.
All right, I'm good on quotes. Let's do the table reads.
All right, table read number 4. Who's a part of this? Is this me?
I'm Gordon.
I'm Jan.
Yeah, so what?
And you're Crowley.
Yeah, I'm Crowley. for just this one.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll start off. I am Jan, played by
So this
John
is like
Travolta.
the
Yeah, let's set the scene.
they're
right
at the
here.
point where they've been selling most of their assets.
It's
They're-
probably like 2/3 way of
they've-
the way through the movie.
They've mortgaged their houses.
Yeah, they're deep into this.
They're at the edge. The string's about to be cut. You know, they have like nothing.
Okay, so I'm John Travolta. Okay, so do me a favor, Gordon, will you? Shut up.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry.
I'm so tired of hearing you moan about money all the time. This isn't about money anymore.
No.
No.
What's it about then? What's it about, Jan?
Look, let's all.
No, I want to know. I want to know why I gave up my house, my credit, my life. Would you take $10 million right now?
Yes.
But you won't take 8.
No.
No. So a $10 million is some sort of mythic struggle. And it's 8. It's just another lawsuit.
If they're willing to pay 8, Gordon, then it's not enough, is it?
Oh, that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
The only thing you accept is what they're not willing to give us. Listen to yourself. I, for one, am sick of listening to you. I've lost enough because of you.
You wouldn't have anything to lose if it wasn't for me. Everything you have, I got for you.
Oh yeah, emptying his pockets.
Yeah,
and
emptying his pockets, throwing all of the items on Jan's table.
I don't have anything, Jan. What do I have? I have a couple of bucks and some bus transfers. I have a savings account from when I was 12 years old. Here, there's $37 a year with interest. After 25 years, it's probably $47. Take it. Add it to the water chest. Use it to fight injustice. Stand up for principles with that. Go down in flames for it, for all I care. Only next time, that's a laugh. Ask us if we want to go down with you.
Well done. Well done.
William H. Macy's great. He's cooking in that scene.
Yeah, sorry. I should have gave you the setup for your what.
No, it's all
he was
good.
laying on the floor. The majority of the he's just laying on his
Yeah.
back, just like
In the dark.
defeated. Yeah.
Yeah.
As the furniture is taken away and failure to pay their bills on time is just mounting. So great scene, William H. Macy. So I know we have another table read built in, but I guarantee we're going to kind of walk right into this. I want to go into scene-stealing performances.
Sure.
And I think this is one of those movies where you could easily go any direction. So I'm going to go with AJ to start, and then we'll kick it over.
Sure.
And then end on you, Woj. So scene-stealing performance, if you need my notes.
No,
who's in
I've
the
got
film.
them all.
Okay.
But I would probably have to say the number one for me is what we just read. William H. Macy talking about, them being flat broke. I've got the account from 12 years. It's got $45 in it probably right now. I think that was like the scene that was like the biggest screen stealer. Another one is probably the alley scene with James Gandolfini.
Yeah, I'll piggyback just off of that. I think James Gandolfini is the clear-cut winner for scene stealing, just because I think it shows his true colors. Is like he can fucking act his ass off. He's not just Tony Soprano. If I'm gonna go outside of that,
Okay.
I think the role of whoever Dan Hedaya is as the
Tannery.
Yeah, John Riley.
as John Riley.
The landowner, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it like seems perfect. I believe every aspect of it. It looks like that's who he was born to be, and not an actor. So like that would be that. I will also admit I'm a big Dan Hedaya guy.
He's awesome.
That's
He's
fair.
a fucking man.
hairy ass arms.
Okay. A little bit more than
Fun
that.
Does
drop
you ever
in,
look
yeah.
at his arms?
No,
It's
I know.
fucking-
I've
bit more
seen the
than that.
usual suspects.
one of you two.
Yeah,
years ago.
I think it's definitely Gandolfini and William H. Macy. I had the same. Besides them, I like Lithgow. I think he's pretty good as the judge. Doesn't get a lot to do, but I think he's pretty solid as well. But I would go Gandolfini or William H. Macy.
Yeah, you know what? You kind of landed on it. I was also thinking for Lithgow, for his small amount that he's in it, at least I think he commands the screen, too. I think that him and Duvall play well off of one another, and it was really believable. Like, hey, that's kind of you get summoned to that, what is it? Is Chambers. That's a real fucking conversation those guys are having.
Duvall's really good. Yeah, we should mention Duvall.
But Duvall's part, I consider him primary.
I thought he was
Not-
going to be in it a little more, honestly.
Yeah, it's just understated.
He's only in it till like about halfway through, and then he doesn't come back till the very end when they have the new EPA lawsuit, which I thought was a little surprising because he's kind of like listed as almost like the co-star. I feel like, or right?
I mean, Travolta's the main guy on the
Yeah.
thing, but I get what you're saying.
I
He's
liked
kinda
Al
the main-
Eustace's role. That was played by
Sidney Pollack.
Yeah, Sidney Pollack. And like I said, man, for what it's worth, that guy, I think whatever he was crafted in is perfect fit because he was able to kind of give that vibe of like, all right, asshole, I know I'm gonna have to pay some money. What are you thinking? Don't make it hurt. but everything walking through it just felt very natural. I thought he did a great job for that scene specifically.
Okay. Why don't we shoot that guy?
Should we do number 5 or do you want to?
Let's do number 5.
Let's do number 5. So that's back to you.
All right.
Taylor,
I think I'm in 5.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
he's in
Woj
5.
is Jan. I'm
Jan?
I'm Duvall. You're Travolta. So this scene is when the judge had handed out the 3 questionnaire to the jury, and then they were awaiting the results. If Robert Duvall's company and W.E.B. Grace, that other company, were going to be able to move on with the trial against them, if there were still probable cause or justification,
sufficient evidence to actually continue. Yeah.
And Duvall was basically saying, like, their company for sure, our company no, but hey, before they give the verdict, here's a 20. Let's say there's 6 zeros at the end of that.
I'll be down
you
the
wanna,
hall.
You want to take the offer? I'll be down the hall. Otherwise, whatever. And then Travolta rips it up and rolls the dice, basically.
Yeah.
And
Very powerful.
Loses.
Yeah. It takes one right in the chin.
All right. Ready, Woj? I'm going to
go. Cool.
In 45 years of practicing law, I never wait in a court for a verdict.
I always do.
I can tell you're good at it. You seem to be at peace doing it. Do you think it's good staying outside for so long, or is it bad?
For who?
Well, for me. You can never tell. Jury duty is more fun than working at the post office.
It's bad for both of us. The jury will see the truth.
In a courtroom, you won't find anything even resembles the truth.
8 kids are dead.
The minute you filed the complaint, the minute it entered the justice system, is when the case stopped being about dead children. I know you're a high-stakes gambler. It's part of your profession. Why don't we test your born-again righteousness of our courts with a high-stakes gamble?
Jerry takes out a $20 bill. If that's a settlement offer, that's not enough.
What if I could add 6 zeros to that? That'd be $20 million. Would that put things in perspective in terms of truth, justice, and dead children?
If you want to talk seriously about a settlement offer, let's get to the decision makers and talk seriously.
The decision makers are already here. It's just you and me. We're like kings sitting in a castle, deciding important things like the fate of others, counting money in our counting room. I'll leave the $20 here, go back to my throne room, and wait for your decision. But if you're looking for the truth, you'll find it where it always is, the bottom of the deepest ocean.
Yeah, I mean, that seems exactly why
Heavy,
Duvall.
I fucking love it, yeah.
I mean, Duvall doesn't get enough of these hard-hitting scenes. It's kind of like leaving it on Travolta to be, no offense, but he's not the dramatic actor that Duvall is.
Yes. All right, guys, clear out right now. I'm gonna go for the.
I was gonna say next
that
guy or
I
that
think I
guy
have
or-
like.
AJ, you know what that guy category is?
So basically, it's like a
think about-
person in a show or a movie that you see a lot. You recognize their face,
don't know
but you don't really know
that
their
guy.
name exactly. But you've seen this guy in many things. An example of it would have been a graduated that guy. We have Joey Paliano. Like in the 80s and stuff, he was always in all these movies, and you're like, who's that guy? And then like later on, he became.
That's the example. So this is that
like,
guy.
almost
and
like William H.
he's
Macy.
teed up.
William
He's
H.
all-
Macy back in the
Used to
90s
be.
probably was that guy, but he graduated to William H. Macy.
Got it.
So I'm gonna start off.
graduated. Yeah, go ahead.
Judge from the opening scene, Denise Dowse, is Principal Garrison and Coach Carter.
Nice.
So I had that noted down. The co-counsel for the defense is the doctor from House, Peter Jacobson. He's also been in some Law and Order
Peter
episodes.
Jacobson, yeah.
Yeah.
I got that.
Co-counsel for Travolta, Bill Crowley, is like the bad guy in 24 in the first season. His name is Zeshko Ivanek.
So true.
He's also, I think, the bad guy in what's the one with Sean Astin? They take over the school. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, he's one of those dudes. He's like always like a bad dude or like a spy or terrorist or something. Of course, as I mentioned before, Mr. Kruger, Daniel von Bargen from
Daniel von
season
Bargen.
Seinfeld, Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
He was the guy who was taking the waste. I don't know if Dan Hedaya is that guy or not. I just had him listed.
Dan Hedaya is
It's-
that guy because nobody
I
knows
feel like
who
he
the fuck
is.
he is. But
I feel like we
I
know
Wait,
who he
is Tony
is, but-
Shalhoub that guy? He can't be.
No, I didn't know
okay.
that.
Tony Shalhoub was huge.
I don't know if the geologist had Stephen Fry, maybe the British guy who
Yeah,
does
I could see
the
that.
surveying. David Thornton, who plays one of the victims who lost his son in the car
Yeah.
en route. He's in Home Alone 3. He's one of the villains. He's in John Q. He's in Law and Order, and Law and Order SVU is one of the lawyers, usually for the guilty people.
Paul Ben Victor.
Paul Ben Victor is my
definitely-
next.
Paul
That's
Ben
that's
Victor.
my.
He's
that
the other
guy.
witness outside of James Gandolfini
Bobby
who comes forward.
Peschiera.
He's in The Wire. He works for the
Pesca-
Greek. He's in Entourage as Alan. He's head of the studio. Ari gets in. He gets into it with Ari. He's also in Daredevil 2003 and a bunch of other things.
He's in the Mick, which I like.
Ned Eisenberg, who plays Uncle P, he's like the bank loan guy.
Yep.
He's in The Sopranos. Is like the Jewish guys in the first season. He's also in Law & Order SVU. He's one of the defense or the counsels. Alan Wilder is the opening scene defense lawyer who he writes on the post-it notes like 1 million, one and a half.
Please.
He is the airport guy in Scranton in Home Alone 1. That Catherine O'Hara is like, where am I? Scranton. And he's like, then John Candy comes
That
and
is
helps
a
him
pull.
out.
Wow, that is
That
a
one.
deep pull.
Yeah, I
Deep
recognize his face. I'm like,
Big
who is that
time
guy?
deep pull.
Josh Pace? I don't know.
Yeah.
He's the law clerk to Robert Duvall, hands him the stuff during his lunch.
Yep.
Yes, that's his name.
He
Okay.
is Raphael in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first one, I believe.
Oh,
maybe
get
the
outta
second
here.
one.
What?
He's also in Law & Order SVU again. He's like a lawyer or something. And then finally, we already mentioned it, but Rob McElhenney makes an appearance. He's obviously Mac from Sunny.
Yep.
He is the one guy. There's 3 teenagers who, when they lay firecrackers, he's the one out by the car who starts running away. And you could, if you pause it, you can.
You can
barely
actually
see
Yeah,
catch
it.
he's
it,
there
yeah.
for a second. I mean, the
But-
uncredited in this is nuts. Like Harry Dean Stanton,
Yeah,
Kathy Bates, uncredited. I had one more that I was like, how are these?
anyone on this
Edward
list real quick?
Herman, you know this guy. This guy's in a bunch of shit.
Oh yeah, he is.
Right?
He plays
I saw that.
he plays the dad in Richie Rich.
Right.
He's also in
right.
Gilmore Girls. But
Oh,
see,
wow.
I didn't
That's
see
the
him
drop.
in the
Good
movie.
one. Yeah, that was good.
But he is.
Jeff
He
Gilmore
is in
Girls?
Gilmore Girls.
My
He's
sister
a-
watches it. What do you want from me?
I'm
Hey,
just
I'm
watching
just
that for my
saying, he said
fiance.
Richie
No,
Rich
he's
and-
the dad.
My
in-
wife watches
Yeah.
Gilmore Girls.
Richie Rich is obviously.
Time out. You guys could enjoy it. It's fine.
that was just an interesting pull.
But
where
yeah, I just
was
can't
like,
believe I remembered him
oh.
from Richie Rich.
So I'm just saying, it's a weird thing in this movie that they have such a big uncredited cast. But I'm like, these are huge. Even in '98, Kathy Bates still
Kathy Bates was huge.
has a name for himself. For herself.
She did what? Mercy or
Harry Misery.
Misery.
Harry Dean
in
Stanton.
90.
I didn't see him
famous
in the
for-
movie either, but I saw
She
he was
was
in the
also in
credits.
But it also
Waterboy.
could be they were cut
That was
out.
after,
But I'm
though.
just saying, just even to have them
Waterboy,
as an
I think, was in the late
uncredited thing
90s.
is pretty nuts.
This came out.
Yeah.
I think did Waterboy come out after this?
Before.
Oh,
Before,
before.
that's what I thought.
All right,
Yeah, so
never
Kathy
mind.
Bates
Kathy
was already-
Bates was
yeah.
in that too.
Around the same time.
Sure.
Okay.
I am good now.
All right.
on
Is there
the,
any recasting before we go to Needle
I
Drop?
did.
All right, here we go.
now,
Recasting.
This might be a hot take.
I like hot takes. Let's hear it.
I don't think Travolta's right for this movie. I think he's a little miscast. I
Okay.
like Travolta. I don't see him in this role as this. I think he works better in the beginning of the movie when he's kind of like this. To me, he seems not like shady, but a little more like about the money and appearances and like not necessarily like he cares about people. He's kind of like a little more. Again, I don't want to say evil, but towards that spectrum, if
Sure.
you will. And then like later he has like they do the arc, and I didn't buy it as much from him. I don't know why.
Okay.
I like him as an actor. I just don't.
You
I
just
think
don't think he fit
I think
the
he would have
role.
worked better as like one of the or evil lawyers or something different. Maybe Duvall's part. but,
Duvall's like younger protege or something.
like almost like I feel like if you would have swapped Duvall and him, I would rather Duvall and the other. He's too old, obviously.
Right.
But, like also again, so I had some alternate recastings now.
I'm curious.
I have 2 sets because I was doing
sets.
because I was
I
doing
love it.
research. Now Travolta was like 44, 45, so I had
Right.
people around his age, but the actual guy during the time of this was like 30.
yeah.
So I have both things. So I'm gonna start with the old guys.
All right.
Nick Cage, like Nick Cage from like The Family Man, that type of Nick
old
Cage.
guys starts with Nick Cage.
Well, older. They were like old.
Hold on, everyone.
this
I
is
love
for
Nick
Duvall
Cage.
or Travolta.
This is for Travolta. No,
Okay.
all
I
this
love
is Travolta.
Cage, but
all
nah.
is Travolta.
all right. That's fine.
This would
Moving
be a
on.
more sentimental, like the
Okay.
Family Man type Nick Cage.
Okay, next one.
Okay.
I like Gary Sinise maybe here. I think he could do it.
Oh, Gary Sinise.
Tom
okay.
Hanks could definitely do it. Now this one I think is probably my favorite. I think Costner could be great in this role. I think Kevin Costner, he's more.
But again, too old. He's older
They're
than
the same
Travolta.
age.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I did the that's what I'm saying. All
I
these,
did the research.
all these guys are
He's
within
doing
like
his re- yeah,
1 or
few
2
years
years.
apart.
Yeah,
Okay.
like
Fine.
so. I just think like he conveys emotion and sentimentality better than Travolta does. I guess Travolta's when he's more of like hyper.
Hey,
or
remind me
more-
again. Dr. Cox from Scrubs. he would do a good job.
John C.
John C.
McGinley.
McGinley.
Yes.
He would have
Yeah.
done a great job.
Now, if we're going for people,
Or put him as part of the team to replace Macy.
He always plays a good dick.
if we're going for people more
I love Macy though.
closer to the
Personally,
age of the guy at the
yeah.
time, and then they would be this at this time too in the 90s,
Yeah.
around that time.
Okay, this is the young.
You know, Matt Damon might be a little too young, but I think Matt Damon could do it. He did The Rainmaker around the same
didn't
time.
he do The Jury too or something else like that?
I don't know if Affleck could have done it, but I had him listed because they were on the same age. Edward Norton, I think, would have been great.
Edward Norton, I can
I
definitely.
got a dark horse for this one, but I'll
Now,
let you keep
I know
going.
Yeah, keep going.
he's a little handsome, but Brad Pitt's a great actor. Like,
He's
he
a
can
little
do like
handsome.
character stuff more. I think he gets to, but
What does his good looks have to do with anything?
well, I'm
You're
saying
an
because
actor, you're an actor.
no, but like more
What's his
people, I don't think take him as like.
No, but he went from like Fight Club to this. Like it'd be. I
Well,
don't know.
it would have been this to Fight Club. Actually, it'd have been the other way.
What
But
Fight Club? When did that come
they're-
out? Fight.
99.
This one released in '99.
Yeah,
So.
January.
Yeah, you're right. Fair point. Fair point.
I had Clooney. I would love to see Clooney
Ooh,
do
Clooney,
this.
okay. Clooney.
And then he'd already done two lawyer movies, but we obviously like Cruise could do it. He did The Firm. He did
Yeah,
Few
yeah.
Good Men.
Tom Cruise, okay.
So I
We
think
got to get his dark horse. I'm
go
curious.
for it. Yeah.
My dark horse, because he would have been around that age in the late 90s, like 98 filming, John Hamm.
I think he'd been a little younger, maybe, right? Or how old is John
I-
Hamm?
I don't know.
John Hamm's
He'd
in
be
his
the
50s
younger of
now.
the
No,
group.
but I actually like
John
that.
Hamm would be good. I don't think he could have
he's
got
the-
it.
He's got the look.
I think he's got the look. I also think he could have done a Boston accent.
Yeah, I was gonna say no one does a Boston accent in this movie. I was
But
gonna mention that.
true, but I'm saying John Hamm.
Do you think guys from Harvard really sound like you're
You
from
know,
Boston?
you didn't just knock off Star Mod up in
Star Market.
Another guy, because he did
a
like
box of
some other
quarters.
type movies like that. Charlie Sheen.
Okay, Charlie Sheen I could see that in the '90s.
Charlie Sheen went and had his shit together and kind of like more like the. I mean,
Would have been old enough. He would have been 30 when this movie was filmed.
no,
or
no,
29.
I think it was a fine.
He'd have been
Yes,
like
I think
26.
I think Char.
Well, math is close.
I think
but,
Charlie Sheen.
He's 54.
Charlie Sheen was kind of entering his 2.5 Men phase, like right around the corner. I'm not saying
around
right
the corner.
there.
Yeah.
To me, I think he's kind of right in the middle, where it's not. It wouldn't work.
wouldn't-
He's not as young as he should be, or not as old as he.
Or his
should
older
be.
brother, Emilio.
I fucking love him.
Dude, Emilio. You know what? Emilio could be a
Absolutely
good dark
love
horse for
Emilio.
this.
I was
one.
like, Emilio!
All right, I'm gonna flip this over to Woj's favorites, and this is gonna be a really short list, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be a real quick
Are
conversation.
you done with that? Yeah, recasting. Go.
Needle drop for the songs. Let me go through because there's only 2 or 3 like worth noting. Take Me to the River, Hardworking Man by Don Van Villet. Did I get that right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Little Drummer Boy. At some point, that was the Vienna Boys Choir, but there really wasn't much. I see Theme from A Summer Plays, but
When they play "Take Me to the River," can you not think of anything but Sopranos?
Yeah,
The
but
fucking-
I mean, it was great because they played it when they were down by the river, so it was like spot on, perfect.
yeah,
song.
I understand the use of that song.
Yeah.
I got it.
I mean, this is kind of interesting.
They had
for
great
me.
scores.
Like, Danny Elfman is the composer again, music producer, supervisor. But I normally think of Danny Elfman as not doing.
Is that Jenna Elfman's husband?
I have no idea.
I wonder. I just random thought.
I don't know if
Could
this
be.
is really like his sweet spot of a 90s kind of like drama. And the reason I say that is that, again, super talented, obviously, not saying that at all. The score at times, it just kind of seemed very like, if you're not having songs, which you really can't in this, you can't have a soundtrack
Yeah, with
in a courtroom drama, and they like intertwined as many songs as they really could with this outside scenery and stuff like that. I get that. The score is like this late 90s kind of thing that they did for a lot, where like to create tension just was like a lot of woodwinds. So it was either like an oboe or whatever.
You know what? That's interesting you bring that
and
up.
it
You're
just
right.
to me, I'm like, yes, it is a courtroom drama, but I'm also like, I need something else. I need some heart pounding kind of stuff to like make me feel more of the emotion. It just kind of seemed like they really relied on the courtroom like uneasiness of it, and like, hey, we're dealing with like a death of a family, and we're
They're
dealing with
definitely. I think they could have dropped in a few. Like I said, their budget's $75 million. So if you try to get some of these, I always thought "Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap" would have been a great song,
Okay.
especially when they're like maybe a quick scene of them trying to do dumping or like burying all these like barrels just randomly. I thought that'd be a fun little
Okay.
transition scene. But yeah, there isn't much for Needle Drop. That's why I was like,
Yeah, we're good on it. Moving on.
Moving on. We already talked about this. Did we not? If anyone has the most cinematic shot, I think we already
did that.
We already knocked that out. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to move forward to the spin-off, prequel, or sequel. Thoughts?
I think you do Robert Duvall's character.
A younger Duvall?
You could do younger. You could go different case. You know, he could have his own, like,
I really wish we had about 10 more minutes of Duvall.
Yeah, because I want more of him. He's a very interesting. I guess I would probably go prequel because I like to see, like, you know, maybe, like, I don't know, like how he became, like, a baseball fan and that whole thing, and that whole story of him and going to law school and just coming up and maybe, like, how he learned to be, like clearly he's been through it. Like, he's got experience and he's, like, been through every situation. So I would love to see him more when he's, like, younger and kind of learning the ropes, I guess.
To me, he's like almost like 10 years away from the best it could be. If he was 10 years younger and he's kind of more of like, hey, I'm on my game, I'm fucking an experienced lawyer, I'm believing that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm dropping.
If he's 10 years older and he's like the teacher kind of Harvard aspect, I'm like, I believe that more. He's kind of in this age where I'm like, you're old, like looking, right? But
you're not.
But
I'm not that old.
I'm not buying the like curmudgeony, like, I'm on my lunch break. Don't talk to me. Oh, I'm gonna just take the radio out and listen. Like, you know, that seems like a guy who's like, I'm 80 years old. I've done this 10,000 times.
I get you where you come from. Yeah.
So, like I said, I think he's just smack dab in the middle. Younger Duvall works, older Duvall works.
They should have thrown in more of the classroom, him teaching law scenes. They
I would have been fine with that.
They kind of threw it in like later, like during the one trial when he asked why, and then I think that's the first time we see that. Oh, he's a professor. And they might have mentioned it, but we didn't really see it. I just think it would have been nice to see more of, like, he's a good actor and, like, establishing his character more and just, you know, I think it would.
I'm curious on how much they left on the editing floor because the run rate on this was 2 hours, like 4 or 5 minutes. So my question is, were they already at budget and they said, no, we got to kind of keep this to where it is? Because to your point, I would have loved to see maybe 5-10 more minutes of him being a professor, possibly, or more interactions with maybe the firm at a different, like, meeting, you know, or something like that.
AJ, what do you got? Spin-off, prequel, sequels, anything?
I would go sequel, just because, like,
the EPA follow-up or something?
The EPA case follow-up and seeing more of Robert Duvall teaching. Maybe he gets more nuances for these, soon-to-be lawyers. Because one of the funnier parts was, hey, if you ever fall asleep in court, you just wake up and
objection. Yeah.
I think a cool sequel could have been, like sequel, like you said, like, but, like, afterwards, and Duvall is, like, done with Beatrice, and he's now, like, maybe he's just
retired,
like an advisor, and him and Travolta kind of work together on something. That could have been a nice dynamic where it's cool, like, you know, he's worked with the evil empire, so to speak, and now he's kind of, you know, working for more good again. He knows how they work, so it's like I could see that being like a cool.
Or he could like position the guys that are trying to go after him. He's like, hey, if I'm in their spot, this is what I'm thinking. So you could kind of create a better plan.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly. Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
I don't know if this would fit.
You can toss it out. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if this fits in the Switcheroo or the spin-off sequels, prequels, but, like, I have William H. Macy in his role, like, gets grizzled from this.
Becomes shameless.
Becomes Frank from the Lincoln Lawyer.
Son of a bitch.
I get it. Sorry, man. But I was like, yeah, he gives up on the corporate law side, the personal injury, and then he goes into, like, the more gritty type of stuff. I had that one.
I was like, he just becomes broke and becomes Frank Elliott. Like, he, like, moved.
Oh, no, he was saying the Shameless. I'm saying Lincoln Lawyer.
I'm saying Shameless.
I
thought
like, you were going. Frank, I thought you were going Shameless.
He changed his name to Frank Gallagher, moves to Chicago, and, like, becomes a bum basically. He just fucking has no money and lives on welfare, and you know, that's it. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had Lincoln Lawyer. You guys had
hold on. I thought that's Lincoln Lawyer. That's
a show, but it was a movie.
McConaughey. That's what I was thinking.
He might have been in it though.
William H. Macy is like his right hand man.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
I haven't seen it in a minute.
It works.
It's a good movie.
Trust me. I am good on spin-off sequels, prequels. Let's go to Switcheroo.
Yeah, Switcheroo crossover.
Well, that was what I had. Just Frank Gallagher. That was the thing.
Sure. So again, like I said, I didn't know which one that kind of fit into, but you had mentioned Edward Norton before, and I was like Primal Fear. Oh, I'm sorry.
Primal Fear. Oh, with
Primal Fear though.
Richard Gere, right?
Would work. Well, it's
Richard Gere's the lawyer.
Right. I'm just saying Edward Norton.
Edward Norton is the yeah.
I was thinking that could intertwine very easily with this, as well as Roman J. Esquire. It was the Denzel one
Yeah.
not too long ago. I think he could have played a part somewhere, and it could have been the same courtroom, kind of passing by. That demeanor kind of works well with this.
I always thought the Sopranos, when they're dealing with their lawyers, because was this based in
This is in Boston.
Boston? Okay, well, Jersey or something like that. I figured maybe somewhere around there might be just they're both going to a courthouse, and it's like you see Tony maybe walking down the steps as they're walking up or something. I figured just maybe a scene drop in. That's about it. But I guess you couldn't do
because James looking for
he's already in this movie, so it's kind of a miss. So
maybe like someone else
or Chrissy.
Like you have him and he's like, "Hey, Tone." He's like, "Who are you talking about? My name is Al Love."
My name is Alfred.
Al Love,
okay.
Right, yeah.
I could see this almost kind of also being
Like witness protection. He's
yeah, like an Entourage type thing, because that show was around back then, and they did Bronx Boulevard, and while they were doing that movie, this was around that same time. So then maybe E and all
Turtle
of them,
and
Turtle,
idiots,
they
yeah.
could have done this movie themselves or been involved or something like that.
okay.
I dig it. Hell yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna open this up. Hopefully we don't have too many of this, but picky nuts.
I think it's maybe it's a hot take. Just that's Travolta casting for me. I think I don't know, I'd like someone different. And then I would have liked more of them establishing what time and decade we're in. I looked it up. It's the 80s. It doesn't always feel like it, though. I'm always like, are we in 98? Are we in 82?
It
feels
too
like
late for
mid
a late-
'90s.
I would
for sure.
kind
Yeah, I
of
was gonna
prefer
say-
them to be like in the beginning of the movie, 1981 or 80, whatever it takes place.
Yeah, just give us the year that it's
every
taking
now
place
and then
in.
a couple of timestamps, like 84, 85, 2 years later, 3 years later. I just
Yeah, like jump to the time frame.
I had
the
to
trial
because
it
and
is.
then I go to look it up, and it's kind of hard to find a lot of info on this stuff. You had to kind of do a little bit of a
Because
deep
I mean,
dive.
you have to guess that this trial was more than like
It
a
was
year.
eight
It
years.
said 82 to 86.
So it was 4 years.
But the guy said he did it for 9 years or something.
There might
It
have
was
been appeals
litigation.
so
and
I
stuff
don't
like
know.
that.
It's a little messy.
But
the
regardless,
timeline.
it was 4 years. So yeah, I agree with that. Like
That's
showing
a
us
big
what
investment.
years it was.
Maybe making it feel more 80s. Also, it doesn't feel like an 80s movie.
No,
There's no big phones or the cars.
There were no car phones
so-
in the 80s.
Well, I'm saying the cars and just in general, like the 80s
yeah,
type
yeah,
of
yeah.
cars.
But
The way
I
they
don't-
dress is not very 80s.
now this-
there was not many pleated pants.
No, but the reality is, I think they took from the 80s and applied a modern, at the time, mid 90s approach towards it.
And then also, I mean, I guess if they can't do it, you can't do it. But there's nobody with Boston accents, and they're in Woburn, and I mean, you would think the townspeople or someone is going to have.
Especially the factory workers
know,
Or the school teachers.
or what's his name? You guy that you
Maybe you
love.
could say the lawyers aren't from there; they moved there and they're doing law. But
Dan Hedaya.
you would think the people like the victims or maybe the judge or somebody would have
Yeah.
a Boston accent. Nobody in the entire
No,
movie has
not,
a Boston
not one
accent.
of them. Agreed.
I'm good on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go small firm, like they mentioned it. Probably would have gone under. You spend 1.4 million on one case, as they said. We got no other money coming in. You go into the bank, like you're probably going under way before you get to 6 mil or whatever they had spent there. I also will go. You just like it's a common problem through multiple characters here. Didn't give Duvall enough. Didn't give James Gandolfini enough. Didn't give William H. Macy enough. It's
Right.
like I understand that you can't give them all the time in the world, but I would have liked to just pick one, give them the real
yeah.
back and forth, and give them more time. Probably would have worked out, I think,
That's
a
a
little
good
bit
point.
better.
I think too, more courtroom scenes. There weren't really too many I object, sustained. Like the classic things we love about courtroom movies, where we're seeing.
Right.
They had the chambers stuff that was cool, but then as far as in courtroom stuff, I mean, I guess maybe that's part of the plot. They never were allowed to bring the victims to, what's it called?
Trial.
The
Trial because they didn't
But
satisfy the
it would've
requirement to do
helped.
so.
I don't know, to me, it's still A Few Good Men is probably the best.
Would
where
this
they
have
got,
done better as a series, like a limited series?
I think courtroom stuff will probably always work better because you can just draw it out
Yeah.
more. You can do a trial episode. You can do an investigation episode. You can do a background.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can expand on things where as in a movie,
You
have
gotta
2
compress it,
hours.
yeah.
You have to do all these different things. So it's kind of you have to pick what you want to focus on. And they kind of decided to spray all fields, I guess, if you will. But
Trying to get as much in,
Yeah.
yeah. Again, I'm thinking that as soon as it doesn't matter. I understand like it's based on a true story and all that stuff. As soon as you get offered that 20 mil at the 0 hour,
Jump.
when you know that you're basically dead in the water, you have no more money.
Yeah.
The guy's taking it because not only is that he gets himself out of debt with his
He gets his partners back.
he also gets the clients at least probably
Something
like
better.
700 to
Now
a
the
mil,
356,000 or 57,
like
whatever.
hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million each. Like, I think that's a easy no-brainer. Also, him coming back at those numbers, I'm like, again, man, 20 like that. They seem ridiculous.
They're predatory.
They
when he
seem
was coming
ridiculous
out.
even for the time.
Yeah.
25 mil here, 25 mil for
It
research.
It was so grandiose.
1.5 mil for
Good
30
word.
years for each child.
For 30, yeah.
It's like that's so fucking much that I'm like, how would this ever be?
Right there,
Even if they
240
tried
mil.
to settle with that, it's like it's just not I think a good strategy to just go to an insane number. Only last couple things, like a financial advisor acting like that in front of a bank like manager, you're probably not getting more money. I'm sure they're like, this guy has lost his marbles. We're probably denying your account and good luck on you. Even if
really
he's
hope you pay us back.
right, like even if
He
you
better
throw the
win.
mortgages at us, like they'll take the mortgages and then go like, okay, we're not doing any more business with you. It's over. And then the excuse me. Nobody really looks distraught in court. Like this is supposed to be about dead children, and like none of the family members are really like amping it up. I get that like Duvall's whole thing is to not get them on the stand, but I'm like, they should have shown up in the courtroom and had cameras on them and like shots of them.
I think that's my kind of issue with the movies. Like, I don't feel the emotion. I know I'm supposed to. I feel like they're more telling me than making me feel it or showing me. Like, I just, even with Travolta and the people, I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like you're right. You should feel more emotion.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this is the case is about these people, you kind of want to bump that up to go. We want to feel this.
I'll say this though, I like that it was kind of true to form. It didn't like it wasn't an emotional roller coaster. It was, and I also appreciated a little bit more that it was a bit dry, saying, "Hey, here's the reality of how the judicial system works, especially with personal injury." And I thought that it was a great representation. Now, granted, yes, there could be quite a bit more done that could make this film, I think, a little bit more entertaining. But I think he hit the root, or the root of it is John Travolta as the role as Jan or Jan or whatever. Jan. It just. I understand because you're a personal injury lawyer, you're kind of a shark, and I can understand that emotional like intent, with them selecting him, but it didn't play out as well for the rest of the film in the sense that I didn't believe him as this, guy barely putting together in a one-room apartment like that. His style wouldn't allow for it. Like, I guess that was where it
we
was
don't
really
get
hard to
any
believe.
exposition on Jan before Jan, whatever.
Jan. Yeah, we're going to Jan.
I'm gonna always call him Jan
It's
Schlitman
Jan
now.
Diego.
But yeah, you don't get exposition on like what is his kind of character.
I think
prior
it's just
to
a
the
miss
case.
with him. Like, and I like Travolta. I think it's a miss.
That's what I'm saying. I like Travolta. I feel like he's a little miscast. I don't know. I think I know at the time it was like a Travolta songs, and it makes sense
Sure.
that he'd be in the starring role because he's a big name. And
Sure.
but I just would have liked him something else. Someone else there, I think, would have worked better.
Yeah.
Okay. Last mention, it's not a picking yet, but I love that they actually cast like blue collar guys.
They
that
did.
Are, like
A lot of local
just
Boston guys.
random
were
dudes,
extras.
like not any known actors for the. I think it worked well. I just want to mention that.
All right. Anyone else? Other than that, we're going to wrap it up. Final scores and quick run through. This wasn't available on any of the, I think,
Streaming
subscriptions.
platforms.
You can rent it on VOD.
But yeah, I went to the library. That's where I got this guy.
I did too.
I rented it on
library.
video on demand.
That was probably like $2 or $3.
$2.
There you go. But so apologies. We did a
You're
little bit
welcome,
of a
John Travolta, for that 2 pennies.
Yeah, there you go for the royalties.
Half of a
Going straight to Scientology for him.
But yeah, let's put a bow on this. Woj, we're gonna bring it back, and you're gonna end us. You're gonna anchor it.
Yeah, I think this is a quite solid movie. I'd probably go with a.
Own it, rent it, stream it.
Thank you. I'd probably go with a stream.
Okay.
But I honestly, this is in the 8s. I'll give like an 8.2 for me.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think just again like the cast in general is like you got real
deep bench
firepower in the cast, and that helps. Again, you obviously in retrospect you're kind of like, could we have done a little bit of this differently and do this? Yes, obviously, but I like just the fact that again like it's a good watch, and I'll even give props to Christy that I watched it with. Was even like, this is a pretty good movie. Like it's just
Christy, we appreciate it.
Generally a good movie, like not anything that's insane where it was like I hated this movie. No, it's like it's a decent watch. We can throw it on, throw it in the background, see what's good.
Mm-hmm.
So I 8.2. That's what I'm going with.
All right.
Stream.
Russian Judge getting 8.2. Nice.
I'm gonna go stream, and I'm gonna go 8 flat, 8.0.
8 flat.
It's pretty
All right.
solid. You know, like it's not like the best core room, it's not the worst core room. It kept my attention. It's got great supporting cast, but there was potential for a better movie in there, I think. But overall, wasn't upset watching it. I enjoyed
Excellent.
it.
All right. Yeah, we're trying to broaden our spectrum a little bit here.
Yeah,
So
I like
this is
and I
great.
like watching a movie I haven't seen and with people that I like in it. I know that I'm a big sucker for like 90s and like
Sure.
2000s movies, so it's right up my alley.
So mine, I would put this as passive own. What I mean by that is if you're walking by like in Walmart and it's like $1.99 sitting there in the DVD cart, grab it. I don't think you're going to be upset. Travolta, like I said, I think the right cast, like he does a good job, but it didn't sit well with me, kind of how you were describing it. But I give this an 8.3. It is not quite an 8.5. I wouldn't put it mid B, but damn, I love the actuality of this. This is true to form of what like lawyers deal with. Like this, all of this seems very factual.
I agree with you, Bobby. I think that they did a lot of the courtroom procedures very well, like to the point that it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of that lawyering shit, various lawyerings.
Bird law.
Talk about bird law.
Word law, knowledge law.
But filibuster. But I'm sure that a lot of that shit is actually like super boring. Like, hey, we have to fill this complaint out, form A317, and then you get it to the district court judge. I'm glad that again some of that stuff was more interesting of kind of how they did that. Overall, the juice is in the head-to-head courtroom kind of matchups or the cross-examination of a witness. I think they left some of those out that I'm like, give me one more scene where Duvall against Travolta, head-to-head type of thing. I'm sorry to steal your thunder.
I think
no, you're fine.
I think the thing that stands out with this movie has going for it is the whole aspect of the law firm and the financial burden of it. That was like unique to this movie, where usually we just see.
But that's the reality. You can't go
I'm
the
saying
distance with these corporations.
I like
throw
that
a few
part.
more million
I think
at it.
that was like the best part of the movie was like seeing that aspect of it. It makes it unique to any different other law.
Oh, I loved it.
movies.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job in that sense. All right, AJ, own it, stream it, or skip it.
So I would say own it only because if you wanted to watch it again, you're gonna have to pay the streaming service, when you could probably buy the DVD for under $5 at this point.
All right, so it's an economic benefit.
It's an economic benefit. I'm going to do a 2-part rating. So cast was a 10-0 for sure.
Okay.
I would say the rating is a 7-8 just because of some of the stuff that we alluded to, like more William H. Macy, more Robert Duvall. But no, it's for sure a watch. Absolutely.
All right. Wonderful. So that was our kind of honor to Robert Duvall.
You said, I'm sorry, you gave 2 scores. So what
You
was
said
it?
10 for the cast.
10 for the
7,
cast, 7-8 for the movie.
film
Overall.
itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Which, it's
You
respectable.
were honestly first time anybody's ever given like a more individualized score. I kind of like that because I agree with you. The cast is
Blow it out of the
absolutely
water, yeah.
fucking top tier cast.
Oh, can I mention too, really quick?
You may.
If you like this type of movie, there's a better movie I think that's along similar circumstances called Dark Waters.
Never
with
heard
Mark
of
Ruffalo. Came out in 2019.
Love Mark
about
Ruffalo.
I think it's about the Flint, Michigan water stuff.
Okay.
And I think it does a better job of being more of a thriller and keeping the interest more in it. I just think that if you like this movie and this subject,
You may like. I like
you'd
that.
probably like
You'd
Dark
probably like-
Waters.
That's
Check
not what
it
you
out.
said. What you said is like
Another movie like this.
This movie is better.
Well, it is
than
better.
this movie.
It is better. It is better. Also, like I say, if I had never seen that, and maybe I'd seen this without seeing that, maybe my review
would be different.
higher.
Okay.
But since I had seen that, I'm obviously going to compare it
So
to
it's
partial.
bias. Yeah, it's an impartial.
So-
I just laugh at the word choice.
I
Like we
love
just
it.
did a whole review.
I love
and
it.
then we go,
It's good. It's
so
good.
this movie isn't good. But this movie
Better.
I'm
that we
saying
did not just review
It's
is
better.
good. Yeah.
it's got Mark Ruffalo, Anne Hathaway. It's a good
I
movie.
love Anne Hathaway. Okay, so
I got you.
all right, guess who's on deck? We got Woj on deck for our next movie selection.
I think this
Tease
was
it, kid.
this is a long time coming. This is one,
Here we go.
This is one that we quote quite a bit. We're gonna do old school.
Oh, shit.
You're my boy, Blue.
Yeah, it's gonna be quote heavy,
This is
but I think
all quotes.
I honestly, and I'll just be candid about it. I will be doing Out Cold at some point.
That's
Okay.
a great
Such
movie.
a great movie, right?
They're coming
It's
out with
just-
number 2.
It's just never available. So I want to kind of make it known or like figure out a way to be like, okay, it's available here through this or whatever. Go rent it from the library, which I don't know if they would have it, but
They might.
I think it's an R-rated movie. I don't know if libraries do R-rated movies.
Yeah, they do.
It's
Oh, they
just
do?
it's
Okay.
just a thing of like I
not
would
gonna
have
put it in the
chosen
kids
that the
section.
last couple times, but when I looked on it, I was like, it's not available anywhere. It'd be a real bitch to try and fucking find. So
Yeah.
I think Old School is going to be a solid one. It's
I
gonna be
love it.
Classic here. So,
Absolutely.
all right.
124 is in the books with our
Dude.
guest host AJ. Thank
yeah,
you
man.
so
thanks,
much.
Thanks for coming on, man. You're
Of
obviously
course.
you got the free pass lifetime. Come on anytime you want to do it.
Whenever
when
you
we
guys do review Wolf of Wall Street, I'm here for that.
definitely so. And honestly, when we get to like golfing season and shit, I know we'll try and get a round in and we'll film.
We
some
met
shit
two
too.
random guys at JL's that are going to be our new golf partners for like some scrambles. So, not to say I have new friends, but I got some new friends.
I mean, again, between you and this guy. Hey, not to say it, but fuck this. And
Hey,
you
maybe
know.
one time if you guys wanted to, I could see if you could film in my locker room. Do
I mean,
like an experience.
dude, I think it would be cool to get a real deal golf club. Like, I haven't been to anything that's like of note.
If I go there again,
Bobby
I
was at
definitely want the
Medina,
experience.
right?
Yeah, I've done
that
Medina.
was cool.
I've gotten Bobby some cool
I went
places.
to Cog Hill.
Yeah, we did
Hill.
Cog Hill.
Cog Hill is definitely a known course, but like I don't think it's got that kind of lore of
Je ne
like,
sais quoi.
yeah,
You're right.
that certain I don't know what.
When Tommy was in PGA school, I flew out and saw him and golfed at all these great places. I did horribly, but
Well-
you know, I'm not.
Medina's just a different
Medina's
animal.
fun.
I'm just saying, when Bobby sent the pictures that were on the Instagram, like we
Tommy's
put them
really
up.
good at golf.
It just it has that lore of it.
Oh,
that,
Medina for sure, yeah.
Historical. I'm sure your course has a similar aspect of that
His
too,
is-
which is
My club opened in 1901.
damn okay, cool.
Bobby knows Tierra Rejada.
Yeah, he was there for that in California. That
Oh,
was,
nice, yeah.
That was a recommendation by this guy over here.
Nice.
So
That was a great course.
Great
Course
course.
is so sick. It's like $50.
Golfing,
In the mountains,
okay,
yeah.
Out of all things, California, golfing's cheap. Everything else
It
expensive
is,
as shit.
yeah.
Golfing's like, hey, $40. You get a sweet card and
Hitting in the mountains. It's
Yeah,
like,
that was
it's like
great.
experience like
Tierra
no
Rejada.
other.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Jim Nance was
But then getting
As
tacos
Jim
afterwards
Nance
was
would
like
say.
$48.
Hello,
It's like,
friends.
All right, so we got Old School coming up. 124 in the books. Journeymen Lounge podcast will ride again. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Herdsman.
Yeah.